Now, first things first, Kristen, thank you for being here with me.
Thank you. Thank you for interviewing me.
So, big question.
Okay.
Why doo-wop?
I started singing when I was 5 years old. When I was little, as Ned says. And my grandfather would sing like the oldies and all that, and I loved it. And like the doo-wop music, I love the a cappella. You don't hear that now. So I love the harmonies and everything with that. So I love just the sound of it.
More that, because I'm from like the same generation as you, and I actually never really got into doo-wop that much. I actually first discovered doo-wop being here and working with Ned. So this is like a whole new experience for me that I actually like didn't think I didn't know. It was just a happy like being able to learn about all these great singers that were able, like back then, it's like you do not think about it as like a person now. But because you weren't part of it. So it's actually like really amazing like how you, who are from my generation, have been able to get influenced by those songs and actually started off with something great by joining the Desire band and with Bobby. That is amazing.
And they taught me so much and put me under their wing. But just the sound of the music and just putting it together and having all the harmonies together with like, especially like the bass, like you don't hear that in music nowadays. I know some people are trying to get back into the a cappella, like the pentatonics and stuff. They're really good, but you don't hear it anymore. So
well, hopefully that'll start up again and we can actually hear more of that. Now on to my second question. Do you have any favorite songs that you like to sing? Like from Desire, like do you have any like favorite songs or just things that just stuck in your head besides Lollipop?
I do. One of my favorite songs that I actually never get sick of is, since I've been with Desire for 4 years, Be My Baby by the Ronettes. And I never, for some reason, like some songs you're like, okay, you know, I'm tired of hearing it, but I've just never gotten sick of that song. It's just, I don't know, it seems like every time I sing it on stage, the audience is like, I'm singing it for the first time. So I just love that song. And then the other one I really like is Walking in the Sand, and it was done by the Shangri-Las, but we do a different rendition of it. You know who Jeff Beck is? You have to look him up. He's an amazing guitar player. He is like amazing, but the guy in our band, I think he's just as good.
Of course.
So we did, I found it on YouTube, and it was with Amalda May. I think she's either Irish or German, something around there. And her voice is just amazing. And they changed the song to be more powerful, more rock and soul kind of. So I love that kind of how they changed the song. So that's one of my favorites also.
It's still not recording. You gotta push it again.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry.
Still am I.
No, it's good. I'm good now.
And wait, another one, I forgot about the other one that everyone requests is At Last by Etta James. And I never get sick of that song. It's a lot of people's wedding songs and stuff like that. So that's another one that I sing with Desire that I just love.
I always get like songs stuck in my head and I just can't, it just grows on me, and like I just love hearing it over and over again. It's just like, so I'm guessing like being able to sing those songs must be able to like, cause I can't carry a tune to save my life. So being able to actually sing along would probably be like something that I would probably want to have. Now, getting into the history of Desire, how did you meet Bobby?
I met him 4 years ago at the Sands Casino, and I was, when we had here the British invasion, that outfit, that exact outfit, I met him in, which I didn't look like myself, and we were doing Monopco, it was a theater company, and we were doing Shout the Mod musical, which was all 60s and 70s, and it was about these 5 girls, they were all different, and I was the nerd girl, there was the the old lady, and there was the lesbian. What was the other one? Oh, the slut. It was a really good play though. It really was. It had all like Dusty Springfield music. It was really good. And so we were allowed to, with one of the bands that performed at the Sands, they used to perform there like every week. And they told us we were allowed to perform there. So Bobby was there, Tommy Zito was there, and I was like, oh, I know who he is. He has a Desire jacket. I know who Desire is. And we sang, and afterwards he came up to me and he's like, do you know, all these songs? And I was like, oh yeah, I love them. And he's like, well, we lost one of our female singers and we're looking for one, and would you be interested? I was like, yeah. I wanted to be in a band so bad, and then especially that particular genre, I was like, definitely. So
her loss, your opportunity.
Yes, it was like a dream come true. It really was.
Now, did Bobby introduce you to Ned on the show?
He did. I know we have some interview, but I think it was through Ned and Bobby. They knew each other, and then that's how I got to know Ned.
And when he first asked you to be part of the show, how did you, what were you thinking? Were you excited?
I was like, huh? Me? I was not expecting that.
So just out of left field?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Did you ever expect to be having this much fun with it and having all these fun experiences?
Well, when I first started, I was really nervous. I was like, because you look and it's like, okay, it's just us talking, but it's like, okay, how many people are watching us? So I was nervous, hiding. But then as the weeks went on and we changed different genres, which was really cool because you get to change and have a little bit of taste for everybody. And it got to be really fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. So.
Now, were you the mastermind behind the theme days, or did you add?
We both pretty much thought of it together. And we think about, sometimes he says, hey, let's do this, or I say, hey, let's do this. We put it together.
Just being here just a couple weeks, don't tell Bobby, but this is kind of my favorite day working here. Sorry, Bobby.
It's cool though, because I like doing the themes. It's a little bit of everything, so it's not the same thing, but I think it's fun.
I agree with you.
You get to be something you're not, so you get to be a little country, and so it's fun. And I've always loved theater.
True.
So I was like, ooh, and I have all these costumes and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, now I can bring them out again. So that's fun.
These are useful now.
Yeah, they are. He never knows what I'm gonna wear. He doesn't know till the day of.
Now, what was more nervous for you, singing on stage or being behind the mic?
Probably being behind the mic. Because for some reason, I always would tell my mom, I would rather sing in front of thousands of people instead of just one. And I love crowds. So being here and not interacting, besides them calling in, it's okay.
Plus, I can imagine being on stage, you get all that adrenaline, just being that cheering crowd.
Yeah.
And, once the light's on you, it just kind of flipping a switch where you just go into singer mode.
Yeah, very true. Especially with a live band, it's I love it. We had rehearsal, and it's just you get that. And I was talking to Ned, and I was like, I can't go to sleep because of the music, and it's in my head, and it's annoying. I love it, but it's annoying sometimes when the music, and you just can't go to sleep.
It just takes over.
It does. I even said to Ned the other night, I said, do you get 1,000 songs in your head at one time? And he's like, yeah.
Well, apparently Lollipop's a new one.
Yeah. I'll be doing that our next Desire show.
He's waving his finger at us.
That song's always in my head. I'm like, oh.
Now, as a major singer, do you have any routines you go through, and how many hours do you practice singing?
I try to warm up at least every day. It's hard though, especially because like our next show isn't until April 7th. But I do sing a lot. I sing on the side besides Desire, like at my job. They have me come in just by myself and I sing to the residents. So that's fun. We have like karaoke too. So I still get to sing and warm up my voice. But every time, about an hour before my show, I'm in the car and I'm warming up. I had an app. I did it on one of our shows, and it was a warm up on my phone, and I started doing the lip drill and all that. And I drank like warm water, and I always have for the guys. They always steal them, my cough drops, and I have they work so good. They're from, I think, Germany. They're like these throat and voice lozenges. They're really good.
What's the name of that one brand? It's like the guy with like the bell bottoms and like not bell bottoms, but the old mountain pants and
what's that? But no, I used to try those, but it's something I actually have to go on Amazon and get them because it's like the only other places in New York to get it, and it works. It's like when I start losing my voice, I would like take it and it would somehow, it was like magic. It was weird. So the guys are always like, ooh. So sometimes on stage you'll see a container of stuff in the back, and they do it and they help do that. So because it's sometimes hard, like especially at the Sands when we have like a 4-hour show. It's like a long show, so our voices get tired.
I can imagine just like talking like 30 minutes. Where's my throat at?
Yeah.
So you and actually Ned too.
Yeah.
Just talking, but singing probably puts like a whole level of stress on it that I just.
The next day I usually try not to talk. But I don't like usually sing the next day. And the one after our Sand show, I actually had to sing at my job the next day. So that was horrible. But the next day after that, I was like, I'm not talking. It was bad, but.
You should have like just texting your phone and be like, I'm just gonna talk through text now.
I had that on my phone. It was when I lost my voice 2 years ago and I couldn't be with Desire.
Oh no.
On New Year's Eve, I was so heartbroken. I had no voice.
What happened?
And it was weird. I woke up, my voice was gone for like a week, and I'm like, come on, come back before New Year's Eve. And it was like a Jersey gig we had. And I had my mom call, I'm like, nothing came out. They were like, just show up. I'm like, I'm not going to get paid as the same as you guys. I can't sing. So I came back maybe like 5 days later. It was really bad. It was like gone. So I had an app on my phone that I literally would write it and it would say it. It was horrible. It was bad.
Well, I'm so glad that your voice came back.
Thanks.
But so that's probably like one of the shows that you really wish that you could have been there and sang. But any other shows that stood out in your mind that like you really remember?
My favorite would probably have to be Music Fest.
Oh.
Because I grew up going to Music Fest my whole life. And my grandfather was actually, we would go to the polka tent and do polka. And so then when I was really little, I'd be like, I want to be that, up on stage singing. So then when we got the opportunity to sing there, I was like, wow, I'm up on the stage singing. So that was like one of my favorite moments to do, even though it was like 100 and something. I didn't care.
Numbers don't matter as long as you're having fun and like there's something connects with you that you just feel like you're in the middle of, you are the star of the show then, right?
It was so much fun. And the guys, like having them with me, it's so much fun. Like at every show, we just always have fun together. So it's wonderful.
Now, do you compare yourself to any of the other singers out there, or do you have anyone that you like see as like an idol that you try to like?
I don't really compare because there's a lot of amazing singers, and I think everybody is unique. Everybody has different voices. Nobody is the same. So I try not to compare myself to anybody. My idol actually growing up was Whitney Houston. Oh. Because her voice is just out of this world and amazing.
Brilliant voice.
Yes, and it's a shame, but I always went to see her in concert, never got the chance, but she was like my idol. And Carrie Underwood with country. I just love her voice. She has a powerful voice. And like Celine Dion, like girl voices. I just like their voices a lot. But I think my top would have to be Whitney Houston. So
that's a good role model to have.
Yeah.
Really strong. Now, if you could choose like a different genre, to, like maybe like dip your toe into, do you have like maybe country then?
Yes, I used to do pretty much every kind of music. Ned didn't know that I did opera.
You did opera?
I did. I went to a voice teacher, and she was like a professional opera singer, and she was very amazing. She did it in New York. She was on Broadway, and I really liked it, but it just didn't feel like it was for me. I know I like it, but it wasn't. I wanted something else.
Something was off.
Yeah. So I like that. I do love country though too. So I don't know. There's so much. I do love all kind of music though, except for rap.
Hey, everyone has their own taste.
But I do love like R&B, like soul music. Like we should do like a soul train.
Oh, soul night.
Soul night, Ned. I do like the more like Etta James, like I like the soul voices and where you can hear the feelings in their voices, like Whitney Houston, you can feel it. You can feel that she really means each word, and I like that a lot.
A lot of singers nowadays don't have the emotion behind their lyrics or even like their singing anymore. It's kind of just, I don't want to say fake, but I kind of want to. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
So, also autotune is just awful.
Yes, it's bad.
Do you remember Rebecca Black and Friday?
I don't know, Rebecca Black.
So this girl had her mom pay for the whole song and production, and she did her own song Friday on YouTube, and it was autotune. It was just something that should not have been created.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me? Yeah, I don't like how they have the auto-tune. Like, it's not their voice. It's not real.
It's a lie.
I mean, I know they can like do a little bit of like reverb, like sounding, but you know.
That's right.
Well, I'm gonna say like I kind of want to take that back. Some autotuning is okay because especially like with the older bands, the singers have like their throats kind of worn down, so they probably need that just to like help. But still, I think being able to sing naturally and actually have the ability to do that, like wherever or whenever you want, is actually like a really cool ability to have.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't let me stop.
You look like a rocker guy back there with your tattoo.
Observing. I gotta give you your
Us
break.
young generation.
I guess.
I got the boss behind my back. Now, from my generation, we grew up with the internet and also social media. So how has that are you using that to kind of help spread doo-wop to like other people and get them kind of like into that music as well?
Yeah, like when I started Desire, they didn't have a Facebook page really, so I started that for them, and our CD got to be on YouTube, and I think it was on like iTunes and stuff like that, so that was really cool. And we have a lot of followers, and a lot of the younger generation, a lot of my friends are like, ooh, you know, I really like that music now, and they're starting to like it too, which is good. So.
Well, again, like they're being exposed to something they never had, like probably would have a chance to do it anyways. So you being like the, I don't know the proper term, but like you're opening the door for them to have this chance to see it.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever, besides the whole losing your voice, have you ever had like any confidence issues, or are you thinking that I need to be better, or I did this song a little bit like too rough? Like how do you motivate yourself to be where you are?
I'm very, very picky. And like my mom's always like, here, listen to you. You sound amazing. And I'm like, I don't want to hear myself. I don't want to. But then I start to say, okay, now I do want to hear myself because I want to hear what I can do better. But I don't want to drive myself nuts. Because to what other people hear, they're like, oh, it's perfect. It's great. But I'm like, no, there's stuff I could do again. I could do better. So I could be very judgmental on myself.
I am so sorry. Ned was just distracting me the entire time.
Good job, Ned. I could be very, oh, Ned. I could be very judgmental on myself a lot.
No, I think that's not a bad trait to have, because that's probably like one of the things that really pushes you to be better, when you're like not so much focusing on other people and listening to like how they want to give their advice when they have no idea what the industry is like. So I think you being part of that is probably the best advice you can follow, and keep pushing yourself forward is probably like the best choice to go with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, what is it like being with Desire? Like, it's probably a lot of fun being with the group and being part of that genre that it's like your dream band to be with.
They are a lot of fun. They all look at me and like take me under their wing.
See?
And Ned too. Ned takes me under his wing too. But we really are, like even Bobby says, we're like a family, and it's very true. Like we talk to each other all the time. It's not all just about, the music. We talk to each other of personal lives and stuff like that. So we are pretty much like a family. So he always says I'm his second, he's my bonus dad, which is pretty cool because he is. If I had another dad, it would be like Bobby. So. Now,
that's probably the best.
Okay, you could be my third. I don't want to play favorites. Oh, Ned.
I think you upset him a little bit.
Hey, I met Ned through Bobby.
Ned, do you want a lollipop to feel better? Oh, I lost my train of thought there.
Good job, Ned.
So being part of that band and having that family aspect is probably like a better nurturing environment than a lot of other bands who are starting out, who have lots of infighting and all that stuff. So being where you are now, you have more growth opportunity than worrying about other stuff that just gets in the way of the music.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, have you thought about like winning? Sorry.
That's okay.
Did you ever think that you would be at the award and actually winning that award with Ned on stage? Like, how did you feel being a winner?
I was shocked. I thought there was no way. Until they said our names, I was like, no, this is fake. And I was like, I didn't think so, but it's really, really an honor. And to also share it with Ned is very an honor because he's been in this business for almost 50 years. So that's really amazing to be part of that. So I was definitely very happy to be next to him and win it with him.
I saw actually on our YouTube channel, we actually have the profile picture, you and Ned standing with the award, which is really cool. And actually, I'm going to do a shout out to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Please check it out. And also, it's at Ned Richards, WALN. Check it out on YouTube. And please subscribe and hit the little bell notification button, and you'll get notifications on our latest video updates. And I promise to upload new videos weekly.
That'll sound good. When I go home, I'm gonna look them up. Because it was with, you and Uncle Vito?
Yep.
That's cool. Way before my time. Those are neat, though.
Now, you're very popular on the phone. Any characters that you get recurring calls from that you just like want to give a shout out to, or you have fun talking with?
We get I get a lot of people, but Ron, he's always calling. He knows a lot of stuff, so he's always like, "Hey, did you know this?" But he talks and he's wonderful. He's on Facebook also. We have lots of people. Lots of people that call in. We have a lot of Desire followers too, which also are Ned followers.
Calling for those vocals.
Yes. So I love when people call in and talk to me, and just say how they're doing and just to talk. I like that. I like to talk to people and get to know them. So,
hear that, folks?
You're welcome to call me.
Please do. We appreciate it. Now, last question for tonight. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to enter the music career or just do it for fun?
If you love doing that, I went to the performing arts school for all 4 years, and that was the best. I know they're starting to do like an elementary school for kids, which is amazing. So now they're starting them younger. But if you're interested in that kind of field, I would do that. There's competitions out there to get known or maybe win money if you want. Just getting out there and doing what you love. I don't know. I think that's it.
Wise words. Well, thank you very much, Kristen, for being here with me.
Thank you, Jared.
You've been a wonderful person to talk to. This is a great experience, and hopefully everyone out there had a great time listening in.
Thank you, and thank you for interviewing me.
Thank you very much.